Pierre, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. So today we are going to be playing Overboard. This is part 2 of the series. In the previous video, if you haven't watched it, make sure you go back and watch it. But in the previous video, we got away with the crime. Your job in this game is to get away with the murder of your husband. A not very nice guy, but get away with the murder and try and get the insurance money. In the last episode, I got away with it, but I made it look like he hurt himself on purpose, so I didn't get the insurance money. So the idea of this one is to get away with it and also get the insurance money. If this is the sort of content you like story mystery content, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you like below. I'm a very small creator, so I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger, gradually. I am trying at the moment to release videos every day. So I have a schedule at the moment. I've got 3 videos already ready to be posted, including a really interesting game about therapy, and I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing that. But please, if this is the sort of content you like, make sure you follow us, and you can also, in the description of the video, there's a link to my Twitch, and I stream a few times a week, and I also stream a few times a week with my friend Sophia. Anyway, all the plugging aside, let's go. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to read this and then I'm going to pause, because my last video got copyright struck for the flight of the bumblebee, which it has in the beginning. So I'm going to pause until that bit's over, and then hopefully we should be fine. Okay, so starting this playthrough. The Telegraph. Sharks in the water. Businessman Malcolm Villancy is said to be in hot water as debtors begin to circle. Mr. Villancy is rumoured to have lost thousands in a string of poor investments, and big donations to Mosley's fascists haven't helped. And there was the curious fire that destroyed the estate that the insurance would not pay. Look out, Mr. Villancy. Your wife didn't marry you for your looks. And then in the picture it says, close friends say Veronica is absolutely kettle-steaming furious.
We stood together at the rail, Malcolm and I. I told him I could see dolphins playing in the wake of the boat. He leant over to see them.
That's right, dear. Just a little more.
So I grabbed him by the belt.
And you're gone!
And I threw him overboard.
What was that red key? Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Villancy. Now, as I played this before, I can skip some of the dialogue. I am going to try and choose different dialogue, just so we see different parts of the story. In particular, in this part, I'm going to be focusing on making sure I get to know the Major, Subtitle Major Singh, a bit more, because we didn't really get to know his character, and not be so rude to Lady H, because last time we were just like, you look awful. Okay, so last time we said, come in. Don't come in! Of course not, ma'am. Wouldn't dream of it. Captain says we will put into Liberty Island at 4 PM, and breakfast is still being served, ma'am. Thank you. Very good, ma'am. All right, Veronica. 8 hours, then you're free. Okay, so in the last one, we realised that her earring was missing. So let's go get the earring first in this playthrough, because apparently we were too slow and we got caught by Mr. Carstairs. So let's get moving. There's no more time to lose. So we go to the top. Oh, Major Singh's already there. I make my way quickly to the upper deck. Okay, so it was on the deck last time. What's this? My earring. I must have dropped it last night. Someone might have found that. Okay, so we've already got the earrings. Let's go for breakfast, because last time we didn't actually make it to breakfast. So I see the bridge officer on duty looking back at me. So we know that Anders is there. So let's go down to the restaurant. It looks like Anders was actually in having breakfast. So it must have been the duty captain. Hello again, Mrs. Villancy. Will your husband not be joining, ma'am? He's gone to the smoking room, perhaps? I would say I was too hungry to wait. It smells so good. The finest English sausages, ma'am. Okay, so Clarissa. Clarissa doesn't like us from the last playthrough, but let's see if we can go join her. Clarissa Turpentine is a 20-something from Connecticut, or something such place. Malcolm found her riveting. I found her as interesting as a damp clop in milk, I think it said. Sit with Clarissa. Good morning, Miss Clarissa. May I join you?
Oh my God! You're a ghoul, aren't you?
Excuse me?
I know what you did to him!
What are you talking about?
Don't tell me you don't know!
Know what, my dear?
Stop pretending, it's horrible!
Clarissa burst into fresh sobs and flees from the room. Luckily, no one saw that. Okay. So we can go to Clarissa later. What I think I'm going to do, my plan, is to frame Clarissa. That is going to be my plan for this one. Let's see if Lady H knows anything. We'll knock on her door. Lady Honoria Armstrong has a cabin, more or less to herself, on a separate floor, presumably so no one sees her rolling back drunk to her room. Lady H? No, thank you. Lady H, it's Veronica. The door opens reluctantly. Ah, Veronica, dear. Are you quite well? You look awful. Okay, we're not saying so to you this time. Oh, do I? Simply dreadful. Too many late nights, I suppose. And how is that charming husband of yours this morning? He's gone missing. I haven't seen him since last night. Really? Husbands are terribly unreliable. Worse than motor cars, and yet you still have to crank them. Have you seen him? Me? No, I don't have him squirreled away in my cabin, my dear. Toodles! With that, she slams her door shut. Okay, let's leave. Now let's go to Anders, because Anders covered for us really well last time. So I think if we do that again, and then we can also have our Titanic moment, which I know a lot of you guys really enjoyed last time. To reach the bridge, you climb up from the upper deck. It's a terrible idea. The masterful Commander Anders is at the wheel. On a hook inside the bridge is a key with a bright red fob. Waves to Anders. Commander! Mrs. Villancy, come in. The bridge isn't empty. There are a few duty officers about. And how are you faring this morning, Mrs. Villancy? A bit dizzy, to be honest. Yes, indeed. The upper deck seems a long way down, doesn't it? No one there now, of course. Do you know I was on watch here last night? I didn't know that. No reason you should have. Was a quiet night, light breeze, no fog, relatively good visibility. You saw something on the upper deck? Very clearly. You and your husband like to take the air at night. But you know, you're not the only ones who do that. Lady Armstrong also takes a stroll about that time. That's very interesting, Mr. Anders. I thought you'd be intrigued. Only Mrs. V, watch out for that old lady. She's got claws. Now, Mrs. Villancy, I should perhaps return to my duties. Thank you for showing me the bridge, Mr. Anders. Perhaps you could show me more later? I would like that very much. Mrs. Villancy, I usually do my rounds between 11 and 12. At about past, I could be near your cabin. Perhaps you might be in. Bring your hat. I like your hat. Of course, ma'am. Until then. Good day, Mrs. Villancy. So he's going to come and watch. Going to come by my cabin, so that's good. So we got the same sort of thing that we did last time. So we need to get there by 11:30. Okay. So there's the Major. Let's go and see if we can talk to the Major. Malcolm's jacket is hung over the back of his chair. Seated in here are two gentlemen. Good day to you, Mrs. Villancy. He salutes. Been stuck aboard this tug for a week, and I don't believe we've had the pleasure. The name's Subdipar Major Sarjeet Singh of the 14th Sikhs. Retired, obviously. Actual service. Veronica Villancy. Oh, I know who you are. Chap talks about their wives. Not very complimentary, I'm afraid. That's rather true, I'm afraid. Then you have me at a disadvantage. Ah, but perhaps that way you can lure me into overconfidence. Malcolm plays cards with you, Major? Subdipar, Major, please. And that's right. And with Mr. Carstairs here. But between you and me, Mem Sahib, he's really not very good at it. You must find him a new hobby. I'll bear that in mind. The Major harumphs under his moustache. Have you seen Malcolm? Not today, I think. He's gone missing. Malcolm. Missing? On a boat? That's a strange thing. I think Malcolm has gone overboard. Are you quite serious? Deadly serious, I'm afraid. Well then, action stations. I'll talk to the commander. We'll get everyone together and see if we can't ferret out the truth. Not sure if that was the right thing to do. So he's already called us to a meeting. It isn't long before I'm in the restaurant with several of the others. Thank you all for coming. I apologise for gathering you all here. It is most unusual, but I believe something unusual has indeed occurred. Mrs. Villancy believes her husband has gone overboard.
I knew it!
He's missing since last night. I'm worried sick.
That's because he's dead! Dead because of her! I saw him fall into the sea! Last night he fell past my window as I looked out!
Why didn't you tell anyone? Why didn't you tell me?
Because I loved him! I don't know if you can understand that! There, I said it!
You know, of course one doesn't like to gossip. But Malcolm Villancy was on the upper deck last night, and he might have been up there with Miss Turpentine. They have very similar figures, our two women. Wouldn't you agree, gentlemen? Okay, so Anders, will he cover for us? Because we didn't meet him. Okay, let's just say it certainly wasn't me. It certainly wasn't me. I didn't go near the upper deck last night.
So? Neither did I! Malcolm was going to visit me. I gave him my key. But he never came because he threw himself overboard.
You think he killed himself? What did you do to him? Please, let's try to think rationally. Whoever she was, I heard her push Mr. Villancy overboard. I heard the splash. As you all know, the captain asked me to give him my opinion. But there's no evidence of anything untoward. It's my belief that Malcolm Villancy committed suicide by drowning. It's the only possibility.
Don't you believe her? You mustn't. She's a snake. I swear it. She was up there with him. She pushed him into the sea rather than let me take him.
Please, this is insane.
Insane? Insane is killing your husband.
Mrs. Villancy? This is a waste of time. He jumped. He must have jumped. It's clear this pretty girl wasn't having an affair with your husband. Was having an affair with your husband. I must ask you, Mrs. Villancy, did you kill your husband?
I'm innocent. I didn't do anything.
So, what happened? He must have jumped. A rich, newlywed man in his prime just threw himself into the sea. Our marriage was loveless. He threw himself overboard rather than face the future. And he left me alone. You poor creature. I believe you. My sympathies for your loss, Mrs. Villancy. Allow me to walk you to your cabin, Mrs. Villancy. Thank you, Commander. This way, please. I'm not sure how we got away with that. By only doing two things. Bar of the hotel party. You got out of it. I didn't think you would get out of it. I panicked, I think. I forgive you, my dear. Only next time, please remember, S-words don't pay out life insurance. So we're just going to have to try the whole thing again. Was it an awful lot of money? Yes, I'm afraid to say it was. To your next role, my dear.
Damn it all.
Okay, so we got freedom again in a very short time, almost like we were speedrunning it there. But that's not where I want to go through. I'm going to end this episode here. And we're going to come back next time for part 3, where again I'm going to try and get the life insurance, because at the moment I've only got freedom. So I'm really enjoying this game. As usual, I will put a link to the game in the description. I really think the developers did a great job with this game. I love the characters, and I love how you can really tell that it was really a passion project. So if you like this, please hit a like, please subscribe, and I will post more of this in the future. Okay, it's a pleasure seeing you guys again. It's a pleasure for you to be part of the family, and I hope you have a great day. See you soon.